Hot take. Baker torches the 49ers this week.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Encinas Unfiltered. We are informed, unfiltered, unmatched. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I've said this last week and the week before, and I'm going to keep saying it every week until we get those numbers up. We are officially YouTube partners. Please consider joining our membership program. It's only 99 cents. It's less than a freaking McChicken from McDonald's. It's 99 cents. I'm giving access to all the tiers for the rest of the season at 99 cents. You don't got to do the legend tier. You don't need to do $15, $20, $10, $5, 99 cents. Can't beat it. You can join our Discord, get one-on-one fantasy advice, get early access to all our videos and to all our shorts and our memes and whatnot as well. With that being said, in today's episode, we're going to do a week 5 recap and we're going to switch it up a little bit. So we're actually going to move our NFL news segment a little earlier in the show. Kolby suggested it, so I think that's a good idea considering we are talking about last week's stuff, so we should put that at the beginning. Then we're going to do a week 5 boomer bust, PPR format, of course. No one really plays standard anymore. PPR is a new standard. Then we're going to do a week 6 injury report, week 6 buys. Kolby's going to give us some waiver wire pickups. Then we're going to get into our starts and sits at quarterback, running back, receiver, and tight end. Then we're going to get into our trade targets for week 6, our football bets, which is money line, over, under, and our spread. And then last, we're going to do some NFL hot takes. And I think we do have some pretty hot takes. Some pretty good hot takes coming up. All right, we'll just get straight into the NFL Week 5 recap. So there's 0 NFL teams that are undefeated now. So full disclosure, behind the scenes, I originally had put it was going to be the Bills that were still undefeated. And the only winless team was going to be the Titans. And they proved me very wrong on Sunday. So shout out to X's team out there, the Tennessee Titans. But there's no longer any NFL or undefeated NFL teams. The Bills lost to the Patriots on Sunday night, and the Eagles lost to the Broncos. What the hell is happening? There's one winless team. It's the Jets. The Jets are 0-5.
The best quarterback ever.
Let's not forget.
Let's
go. I don't know about all that. But the Titans beat the Cardinals. The Saints got their first win. And Spencer Rattler actually had a pretty good game. I'm usually a big person to shit on him, but hey, he beat the Giants and all the power to him. I kind of wanted to ask you guys just very quickly, what are your thoughts on that 49ers versus Rams game? And the only reason why I bring it up is, yes, I'm a Niners fan. It's not, I mean, there's a little bit of bias, but that was kind of like the thumbnail that we put out last week. So I really did feel like that was going to be the game of the week. And they won in overtime 26-23. And just for those maybe who didn't watch it, Sean McVay tried to run in 4th and 1 and got stopped by the San Francisco defense, and it sealed the game, which I thought was a little weird when he could have just kicked a field goal and kept going. Let's start with X. X, what did you think about that game?
I mean, it was a good game. I like the overtime games. It was more of a defensive game, and I thought it showed that the 49ers defense can be something. And I think it only further proved the point that Brock Purdy shouldn't be the quarterback. But I mean, we'll see as we go on. The 49ers are very notorious for paying people way too much. So they're going to have to play Brock Purdy, and I expect them to fall back down to earth and start losing again once that happens.
Kolby?
kind of agree with X. I really think it highlights the 49ers coaching, their scheme, their mentality.
Yep.
I mean, they walk out there with third stringers, backups. And I don't know about you guys. Have you guys been part of a team that's been injured, or I've been in part of teams that everybody's been injured. They walk out and they know, like, oh, we're backups. Like, it doesn't matter. We're not even going to try, you know. But they came out, they gave it their best. They won. And it puts the 49ers in a sticky situation, which I'm very excited to see how it plays out. It kind of just proves the point that everybody's making about Brock Purdy 2 years ago, I think 2 or 3, maybe a year ago, that all they need is a competent quarterback in that position, surrounded by very, very good players. Christian McCaffrey, who catches 1,000 balls a game. All they need is a competent quarterback, and they'll be fine. I don't know why they don't just draft a quarterback, let him play until his contracts to come up, and then just be developing another quarterback 2-3 years into that first quarterback's rookie deal, and just cycle out through cheap quarterbacks until you find that one that you know is like, it's him. I didn't see that in Brock Purdy. I don't know about you, Rod, if you saw that in Brock Purdy, but I think they need a competent quarterback.
So I have a lot of thoughts to share. First, I would just say I would like to retract what I said last week on the Super Bowl window being closed, but we'll talk about that more in the hot takes. I think it was a sloppy win, but considering the Niners had their backups in, Kendrick Bourne's the fourth receiver on that depth chart, and him and the repertoire that him and Mac Jones have from the Patriots really showed, and he had a really big game. I don't know if that happens every week, but with people coming back, but it was a win that the Niners needed, I think, for their confidence boost. Their offensive line played very well, a lot better than I've seen them play. And there is a debate now that we'll talk about later is do you rock with Mac Jones until his knee gives out because he's hurt, right? Or do you put in Brock Purdy as soon as you can? And I think that's something that we'll tease the audience now for, and they can come find it a little bit later in our hot take section. The last thing I want to recap on the NFL news was the Chiefs lost to the Jags at the very end with a little stumble by T-Law, and they're 2-3 now. And I just thought, oof. Yeah, I don't know, man. The Chiefs personally have not looked great. They've lost to teams. I mean, the Jags are 4-1. Their defense is great. The defense is playing really well. Their offense, I'm not so hot on. BTJ did okay, I guess, but it's not where he's not producing at the value of what people drafted him on.
Yeah,
the one thing that I just want to say pretty much about it is that they are now starting to feel the effects of running with no-name wide receivers. When you're running with these second string, like if you put any of these receivers on any other team, they would at best be slot receivers. And they're now starting to feel the effects of having these slot receivers as their number ones and their number twos. And they're starting to realize now, I think it is that they need that true number one.
Well, guess who's coming back after this week?
Tyree. I'm kidding.
Their guy who's their number Crashy Rice.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's their number one guy, dude. It is what it is. Whether we think of it or not, he's a talented receiver, and when he's out there, he produces.
Buffalo's number one, so I mean, I get it.
I mean, I like Keon Coleman over there more than I like Shakir personally, but Kolby, what are your thoughts on that Chiefs and Jags game?
I was just watching it, and have a little group chat. We'll make a few bets. We're trying to save for my buddy's honeymoon. And Friday, everybody put their picks in. I was like, Chiefs money line, easy. Looks like because whoever loses, who has the worst loss, if we lose, has to pay the entry fee for the next week. And I was like, texting there, yeah, there's no way I'm paying next week. And then here come the Jaguars, and I texted and make sure that the bet was still on. Luckily, it's not. Luckily, I'm not having to pay for it because I think someone took the Seahawks or something. But it's I was pretty speechless. I was kind of laughing at the same time, but kind of like, wow, this is insane. Never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, I do. I want to put another teaser out there. We are going to have a nice Chiefs hot take here at the end. So if you want to just go ahead and click down and go to it directly, you can at this point, because you can do that on YouTube with the timestamps. But if you like to stay for the rest of the show, we have a lot of useful information, especially for those newer or intermediate fantasy players, or those who are just looking for some waiver pickups. All right, we're going to get into our week 5 boomer bust. We're going to just go through it really quickly. There are some surprise people on this list, some new people on the list. This boy made the list. Finally, wow. CJ Stroud, number 1 quarterback last week, 28.76 points. Why?
Number 1.
Baltimore's D might be as bad as the Cowboys, and they don't have Lamar. So they were just getting absolutely clobbered. Next, Sam Darnold, 28.64 points. Attaboy Sam Darnold. I knew you had it in you. I don't know if he does that for the rest of the season, but hey, not too bad. Next, Dak Prescott, 28.28. Kind of expected. He's going to have a large offensive presence this year as long as George Pickens doesn't get hurt as well. And Baker Mayfield, 26.66 points. That game was really back and forth with Seattle. And Baker's probably going to be up there probably week to week, depending on matchup. Bust. Cooper Rush, 4.16 points. I mean, not surprised. Baltimore, I don't know what's going on there. I really thought he had a shot. Geno Smith, we see him here quite regularly at this point, 7.92 points. Mr. Consistent is not consistent.
Inconsistent.
The only thing,
I know.
the only thing he's consistent about is throwing interceptions, okay? That's the only thing he's doing.
This is a weird year. Weird year.
I think
Cam Ward, 9 points. Hey, Cam Ward finally did better than somebody this week. Good for Cam Ward. Right. Still ass. Drake May, 12 points. That was my start of the week, and that one hurt. I really thought he was going to turn it up, but Ramondre Stevenson took a lot of those touchdowns. Yeah. So, all right, running back, boom. Rico. For those who grabbed Rico real quick when Chuba Hubbard went out, 32.4 points. Absolutely went off. Jonathan Taylor, he's been regular on this list, 31.6 points. Kyron Williams, 31.1 points. And Christian McCaffrey, 27.9 points. Ooh, I'm excited for these busts.
We can skip the first
Oh,
one.
no. I've been waiting for a couple of days on this one. Because, your boy over here likes to say when he's right all the time and when he's wrong. The audience could just look in the videos. But Woody Marks, 2.4 points. Who was the guy in that game? Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb owners. What's up, brother? Nick Chubb owners who played him and got that dub in fantasy. Hey, some of us got to stick with their guns and get those wins. So, Trayvon Henderson, 4.7 points. Man, he's just been an afterthought. It kind of sucks. But hopefully one day they will actually let him have the ball with Ramondre fumbling a lot. James Cooks, that's the biggest one for me. 4.9 points. Yeah. No touchdowns. I mean, we always kind of said he was touchdown dependent anyways. But he just could not get it going, dude. That game was so weird. Divisional game. And Derrick Henry, he had 9.3 points. There was other running backs in between, but he to me is a top tier running back in my opinion. Yeah. And he only had 9.3 points, would have only been 3.3 if he didn't get that touchdown. So just something to consider with Baltimore's offense without Lamar Jackson there. Receiver boom. Emeka Egbuka, 31.3 points. No surprise. He's the number one guy in Tampa for now until Mike Evans comes back. Jamar Chase, 29 points. Hey, Jake Browning, I don't know what the hell happened in the second half, but he turned it up, started getting them all those points. But they just traded for Joe Flacco that we'll talk in a second about. So I don't know who's going to be the starter, so that's going to be interesting. I don't know if that helps him or hurts him. I don't know. I really don't know. JSN, 27.2 points. Just because I really didn't want to try to mess up that name because that would have been really bad. So 27.2 points, JSN. And Stephon Diggs. Hey, we haven't seen him in a hot minute. It's been a couple years. 24.6 points. That was Drake May's number one target. It's nice to see him back up there. We're going to go into receiver bus. We got Jameson Williams, 2 points. That was surprising. Jerry Jeudy, 3.5. Not so surprising. I don't know what's going on with the Browns. Is the Shedeur Sanders season? Hayden thinks so. I don't know. Dylan Gabriel didn't look great. 58% throwing completion percentage. Just wanted to throw that in there. It was whatever. He did below-ish average.
He didn't throw a pick.
That's fair. Chris Godwin, 5.6 points.
That's not.
I don't know what's going on with Godwin.
He was going to do much better.
I think he's just got to get a couple weeks to get heated up, and once Mike Evans is back in the lineup and they're all out there, I think it'll be more promising. And then Quentin Johnson, 6.9 points. It's happened, boys. He fumbled the ball. I saw it. It's happening. There it is. Every year we talk about it. The Chargers lost Joe Alt, and they still don't have Khalil Mack, and I think they're starting to see a huge fall off now. So that's definitely something to pay attention to. But I will say, Ladd McConkey looked a lot better this week. So good for those Ladd McConkey owners.
We'll see how next week's goes for him.
For sure. Tight end boom. AJ Barner, 24.3 points. And most people are like, who the hell is AJ Barner? Seattle's tight end. That's who that is. 24.3 points.
Second year player.
Waiver wire pickup. He's been pretty consistent
as the tight end guru, that's the one I did not see coming at all.
Yeah. Jake Ferguson, 23.9 points. Not surprised. He's been heating up. Theo Johnson, 21.3 points. New York Giants. Him and Jackson Dart looking good. Definitely a waiver wire pickup. And then Sam Laporta, 20.2 points. It's good to see my boy Laporta back. Yeah. All right, last one to get into some busts. Isaiah Likely, 2.2 points. Are we surprised? Who would have known? Juwan Johnson, 3.7 points. Who would have known? Mark Andrews, 4.2 points. And this one I don't think anyone saw coming. Hunter Henry, 6.6 points.
Yeah, that was.
I wrote and died. I did a ride or die with the tight end guru on that one, and that one kind of hurt me, but it is what it is.
Hey, at least you didn't keep Zach Ertz in like I did.
I did not. No, he put up a fat, nasty 0, I think. I didn't even include him on the list. Add one more to the list. Zach Ertz, nada.
Yeah.
Before I get into the injury report, I just want to say Antonio Gibson, he is probably out for the year from what I remember. His ACL, right? He's done.
Unfortunate.
And Amarian Hampton is in a walking boot. Yes. Well, he's still behind Ramondre though. And then Amarian Hampton, walking boot IR. IR means what, Kolby?
Not on my starting lineup.
No, 4 games. It's 4 games. IR is 4 games.
I didn't want to say it.
At minimum.
Okay. At minimum. Yeah, we don't know. He's 4 games at minimum. Side comment, I tried to trade Kolby for
you know what
Amarian
irritates
Hampton
me? You know what irritates me about Amarian Hampton? You know what irritates me? I drafted
You
him
have
in
him in
three.
every league.
In
Ugh.
3 of so I have many leagues, but I
Oh,
have 3
no.
top priority leagues I focus on everything. In other leagues, I'll do a little bit, but I'm focused on these 3 leagues. I have them in 2. So actually, I have them in my top 2 leagues. First 2 weeks, I'm like, do I trade them? What do I do? I'm gonna wait. Like week 3 pops off, week 4 pops off, then week 5 gets hurt, and it's all over again. Just like this. It's all over. Right now, we're down here right now. So Michael Carter, you're up.
Hey,
Don't fail me.
hey, you gotta hit rock bottom before you start heading up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hopefully
Or
We'll
it's
you
see.
die,
early
but
He's
in the
it's
young.
fine.
season.
He'll bounce back. He'll bounce back. Hopefully.
So those are the 2 big ones I kind of want to talk about before I get into the injury report. So quarterbacks for week 6, we have Lamar Jackson with the hamstring. We don't know
Still
if he's
faking
playing.
it.
Brock Purdy, he's not faking it. Brock
He's
Purdy
faking
with the toe, he's definitely not faking that. We don't know when he's going to be back. JJ
that one.
McCarthy with the ankle. I think he's on bye week this week, so I don't think it matters. Yeah, he's on bye, but still something to monitor. Bucky Irving, I don't think he's playing this week. Mario Hampton, obviously, he's out. Chuba Hubbard, calf, he might play, he might not. So if you have him, maybe try to pick up Rico if you don't have him. Miles Sanders, Cowboys, his knee, ankle, we don't know. Aaron Jones he's on IR? I didn't know he was on IR.
Yep.
Oh, well, he's going to be gone for 3 more games, 2 more games. Tyrone Tracy, he's questionable with a shoulder injury. Braylon Allen is on IR. Jalen Warren had that weird knee injury that happened at like 6:30 a.m. West Coast time for us Jalen Warren owners. He should be back with after the bye week, but that's something to monitor. So Kenneth Gainwell is going to be a nice little pickup there. And I already talked about Antonio Gibson being out. Receiver, CeeDee Lamb, he's still not going to play probably for a couple more weeks. Ricky Pearsall, his knee, we don't know. Jawan, he's looking on track to play, but I'm not sure yet. Jalen Coker for the Panthers is quad. Cedric Tillman, IR. Turpin is out with hurt with his foot. Mike Evans is still out with a hamstring. Scary Terry's supposed to come back this week, but he has a quad injury, so take a look at that. And Jaden Daniels just came back, played really well, so I would love that for him, for that team. Darius Slayton has a hamstring injury for the Giants. Mooney has a hamstring injury for the Falcons. He should be coming back. Calvin Austin, the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is taking a liking to him. His shoulder, but he should be back. And the Christian Watson might be back. His 21-day PUP practice window opened up, so that's something to monitor as well, because they have like freaking 5 receivers on that team, and anybody can have a good week. So, and then last, I want to get into some of the tight ends. So Brock Bowers, he didn't play last week for his knee. He might play, he might not. Kind of monitor it. Don't pick up Michael Mayer. He's not going to be a replacement, so look elsewhere. George Kittle, they said that he could come back, but I don't think it's going to be till next week. Colson Loveland, Bears, it's hip. I don't think he's going to be back yet. Jatavian Sanders, he still has an ankle injury. It says Mayer has a concussion. I think he's going to play because I think he played last week. And then Jake Ferguson, he has an undisclosed injury, but he was fine, so I wouldn't have any worries about that. I think he'll play. And just a reminder for everybody, for the week 6 buys, it's just 2 teams this week, Minnesota Vikings and Houston Texans. So we're not having to scavenge too much this week. It's not going to be too bad. So it's not going to be like a week 9 or a week 11 bye week when everyone and their mother is out. So
scary.
Kolby, give us some waiver wire pick. Wait, actually, before you start, let me I put all this time into this. Let me put it up here. Since we have a beautiful graphic here. Oh, look at that beautiful graphic. All right.
Nice.
All right. Next, we're going to get into some of our waiver wire pickups. There is some missing here because there's some late additions, but Kolby, go ahead and take it away.
Alrighty. So first off, be some quarterbacks, some streamers they can pick up, play match base. Matthew Stafford. Everybody saw that game. Saw him throw for about 403. He gets to play who? The Baltimore Ravens, who just let Houston absolutely demolish them, drop 40 on their heads. So he's going to be a pretty good play this week. And, honestly, I'd start Stafford over a couple people. I start him over Kyler Murray, my boy. Sorry, Kyler. He's also a little hurt. I start him over Bo Nix and Daniel Jones. No, Justin Fields too much of a running back. Can't do that. And the other quarterback, Sam Darnold, again, he's unlocking JSN. JSN's playing more of the outside wide receiver, 50-50 balls. He's all over the place. Love watching JSN play. He's looking a lot like the 2024 Sam Darnold. So don't wait until someone else picks him up. At least pick him up. And, hey, he does it for 2 or 3 more weeks. You know that he's starting to become more consistent. And it looks like he has played Jacksonville this week. So we just saw Mahomes go off on them. So Darnold should have a pretty decent game. And then off into our running back. So first one's going to be Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard, depending on Hubbard's injury So as everybody saw, Rico went for 260 yards and a touchdown on 23 carries. And he gets who? Who does he play this week, guys? Who does he get to play?
The Panthers.
No,
No,
he
the
plays for the
Cowboys.
Panthers. Yeah, he gets to
Sorry,
play
Cowboys.
the best defense in the league,
I had to
the
look.
Dallas
Sorry, I'm like,
Cowboys.
Best
Also known as the
defense in the
Cowgirls, but
league. That's a
I
bold
will not
statement.
disrespect my team like that. And I just announced I was a Cowboys
wait,
fan.
it's
All
your
right.
team again? I thought
So
you were
we're
looking
going
for
on.
applications. Hold on. I thought you were
Hey,
looking to do
you can
applications
still
for another
work out
team.
a job and still be looking for applications. You're still putting in the
Oh, that's
hours and
wild.
just,
Oh.
giving it a little
Look,
bit of
dude,
attention, You
he
can
might
still
have
be
he might have
you can still be a fan
requested a
and out
trade.
focused,
Doesn't mean it was accepted.
It's if we lose to the Panthers, then it may be happening sooner or later. But moving on, Michael Carter, there's a lot of discussion between him or DiMarcardo, and as we can see, it was Michael Carter. Took full advantage of opportunities, rushed 18 times, 51 yards, and a touchdown. He caught all of his targets for 22 yards. And we also saw Amari's very costly fumble. And I really think that's just going to lock Michael Carter in as the RB1 for this Cardinals team, the goal line back. And he did catch 5 targets, like I just mentioned. So he could be getting more of those third down snaps and some 2-minute drives. All right, so the next 2 guys, it's going to be your decision. Go watch the film. Everybody has their own opinion. I'm still in the toss-up, and I'm going to have to make a decision here in a few hours on who I want. It's going to be Hassan Haskins or Kaimini Vidal. It's Amari
Haskins.
Hampton's backup. Now, a lot of people do say Haskins, and I somewhat do agree. They're both as pretty interesting ads. They do get to play Dolphins defense. You just let Rico Dowdle run for 200 yards on them. And, this could be a Michael Carter situation where, Haskins is more of the in-between the tackles runner like Michael Carter instead of DiMarcardo, and Vidal is more pass catcher. So they each have their own ability in comparison to each other. So we'll have to see and wait. And also, I think it just depends on the game plan. If they need to pass a lot, if they're down, or if they just want to run the clock out. And pretty simple. This one's Kareem Hunt. Kind of pointed him out last week. You just gotta pick him up and just play him. He's a goal line back for KC. You don't have to necessarily play him, put him on your bench. But if Pacheco does go down, he's an RB1 like he was last year, and you're gonna be upset like I was when I dropped him last year before he started going off. All right, well, the next one. So the question I have for Kendra Miller and the Saints, real quick for you guys, is what do you guys think Kamara does? Is he going to get traded? He's put his time in. He's been there. They're not playing for nothing. Do they let him go? Let him go to a team where he wants to go play and win, and let Kendra Miller do his thing. Let him get a connection with Rattler or Arch Manning maybe next year. Not sure. But what do you guys think about the Kamara situation?
So I just looked up his age. He's 30 years old. So he's on the downside for a running back. And his contract is through 2026. So he has one more year on his contract. I think.
Does it say how much guaranteed money he has on his contract?
It includes a $11.5 million base salary for 2026 with $3 million of it guaranteed as of March 2025.
That's not bad.
So he's an unrestricted free agent in 2027. Yeah. So personally, I think they keep him because I still think they're trying to figure out what they're going to do, whether they're going to keep rocking with Rattler or maybe they make a change and put in Shuck. He's still good. I just don't. I think age is the killer of all running backs, right? Yep. There's only a few that lasted a long time, like Frank Gore. I know there's more, but as a Niners fan, that's the guy I remember who kind of did it for a long time. And Derrick Henry, I guess, is up there in age too. And Alvin Kamara, I think, is better as a pass catching running back right now rather than a bruiser, if that makes sense. So my thoughts with him is like, should he be traded? Yeah. Are they going to trade him? I don't think so. When are you going to get as good of a running back like that for that cheap? I think that's the biggest thing. And I think if he wanted to go somewhere in 2027, that's when he'd go somewhere else and pick where he wants to play. But he'll be about 31 or 32 at the time. Yeah. So
makes sense.
X, what do you think?
I would say if any team was going to try for him, I would say it should be the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a good team enough. They're right now, Pacheco's not doing enough. Kareem Hunt has already solidified himself as the running back. So you bring in Kamara and you have your little pass catcher off the side. So Patrick Mahomes feels a little bit more comfortable.
Huh, not a bad idea. The next guy, Romeo Dobbs, mention him every single week. He's right on touchdowns, obviously, if you look at his stats, but if you've watched any of the games, they get close to the red zone. If it's not Josh Jacobs, it's Jordan Love snappy at looking at Romeo Dobbs and throwing him one-on-ones. Two or three of his touchdowns the last game was straight. He just snapped it, turned around, flicked it to him, and let him make the catch. So he can make those contested catches, but I think it's just really going to be just seeing if they keep doing it. And a lot of people, sadly, including myself, I needed to. I dropped him on his bye week, and I bet it's like that in most leagues. And Kendrick Bourne, if Jennings and Pearsall are out, he remains the sideline this week. He has very high upside with the Tampa Bay game. I'm projecting it to be a shootout like the Seahawks and Bucks game. And this last guy, short-term wide receiver, is Ryan Flournoy. Sorry, Ryan, if I pronounce your last name wrong if you're watching this. He got 69 targets for 114 yards and also had 2 carries. So Dak obviously is on fire. Like, I don't know who called that on this podcast. Whoever said that is a genius. But, Pickens alone is not going to get the job done every single week. They need someone else. And Flournoy came in, did the job. We've seen Turpin try to take over the wide receiver 2 spot when CD's out. They can't get it done. So I think Flournoy, Ryan, has a pretty good chance. And could be a very short-term play while CD's out. Moving on to our tight ends real quickly, Mason Taylor hauled in 9 of 12 targets for 67 yards. And in the loss to Dallas, this marks his second straight game with 60 or more receiving yards. He is becoming Justin Fields' number 2 target behind Garrett Wilson. I do want to point out for these 3 tight ends, I mean, if you're down bad and there's literally no one else, you can pick them up and start them. But these guys are like a Sam Laporta 2 years ago. Everybody kind of picked him up. I don't know if anybody, I did, picked him up, sat on for 2 weeks, and then boom, he was my starter every single week. So one of these guys could be it. I'd probably bet on the one that has the better quarterback out of the 3, which is the next one, AJ Barner, back-to-back weeks with 2 touchdowns, which is crazy. But he did catch all 7 of his targets, and he is clearly a stash, like I just mentioned. And we'll have to see if his role increases. And lastly, is Theo Johnson against the Saints. He caught 6 for 7 targets for 33 yards and 2 touchdowns. Back-to-back weeks, 2 touchdowns. He's clearly Dart's red zone target and a safety blanket. And again, just another ad, just to wait and see if those targets start going up or they're very consistent. And they do have a pretty tough Philly defense. So, I mean, if you don't have somewhere to stash him, you maybe wait. He may not do nothing, but you'd also get a bunch of dump downs from Dart, who freaks out when the Eagles are rushing him every single snap. And some defenses real quick. Packers defense, I know they're pretty premium, but some people may have dropped them on bye week thinking that, nobody will notice or they need someone because they had injuries or bye. So look for them. And the Raiders, pretty simple. Well, how is it pretty simple? Because they play Cam Ward. Yes, Cam Ward did look good last week, but he is on pace for 64 sacks this season, which is absolutely absurd. So they need to protect their boy, or that boy's leaving. They need to protect him, right, X? Like, you can't throw the ball if you're getting rushed like that. It's
No, he ain't leaving. He's stuck there for 5 years, so he ain't going nowhere.
He doesn't have to play for them. He can just go sit on the couch, but no. Just kidding, but the last defense, which I have a couple places, and I really did not want to put this on this podcast because these 2 guys are in 2 of my leagues, but I'm going to have to mention the Patriots defense. Like I mentioned, I have them everywhere. They have an awesome next couple weeks. They play the Saints, followed by the Titans, the Browns, and then the Falcons. Then they play Baker and the Bucks, where you can kind of stream off of them, go find someone else, or even play the starting defense you had before you picked up the Patriots. But after Tampa Bay, they get the Jets, Bengals, and Giants. Then they go on bye. So you're looking at a good, solid 7 to 8 weeks of straight, just amazing matchups for this defense. And we just saw them play against Josh Allen, the Bills, pick Josh Allen off, hold him down, hold the Bills to like 20-something points. So I think they're going to start heating up, and Drake May is also on fire. So it's a full round over there in New England. And just one last thing, week 6, very important. There are some big injuries, a lot of speculative ads here to stash. So just be looking at those, make some decisions. If you have a couple wide receivers on your bench that are for sure not going to make a starting lineup unless 4 of your wide receivers go out and you're on bye and you need them. But if you have 5 wide receivers, drop the one that's on that you're not ever going to play, and pick up one of these tight ends or someone and just stash them. Just wait, because those wide receivers you're going to be dropping, nobody else is going to be picking them up. So, yeah, that's my little tip for the waiver wire and your roster and your bench. And yeah, bro, that's all I got for this week.
All right, we got our starts and sits. As a reminder, because I still hear it, they're like, "Why aren't you starting Josh Allen?" And it's like, because Josh Allen's this elite quarterback, right? X, we don't start. We're not talking about the elite of the elite. You're going to start him. You're starting Jamar Chase, even though we don't think he's going to do so well. You're still starting him. You picked him probably number one. It's fine. We're looking at these mid-tier receiver 2, running back 2, tight ends. I guess besides if it's not Trey McBride or freaking somebody like that, I think it's fine. I'm just picking on X at this point. But all right, starting at quarterback. I got Jordan Love versus Cincinnati. Hurts me to say it. My wife's a Packers fan, but it's coming off a big game in Dallas, and Cincinnati D stinks. Call a spade, right? That's one of my favorite sayings. It's sitting. Now, this is going to get a little controversial here. We might get a little heated. I know the boy X. I don't know if he's going to get that heated. Maybe Kolby, but you're sitting Baker Mayfield versus San Francisco. Let me explain, okay?
No.
So Colby's argument is going to be, well, Matt Stafford just threw for 3 touchdowns. Well, 2 of them were to Kyron, so let's not forget about that.
Doesn't matter.
Rashad White's not better than Kyron Williams.
400.
The 49ers D is looking good under Salah. Dinomino Lenore has only given up 12 receptions over the last 5 games and 0 touchdowns. And who's going to be on him? Or who's going to be covering? Emeka Ibuka. Who's the other receivers? Chris Godwin coming back from injury. He hasn't shown out yet. I don't think he's fully healthy. And you got Sterling Shepard. Keaton's not catching balls. I'm not overly worried. Bucky Irving's out. Like, it's going to be a shootout for sure, but I don't think this is one of the games for me that I think it'll be more of a trap game for Baker. I don't see him putting up Matthew Stafford level stats this week, personally. Personally, I don't. I think Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback, maybe not fantasy wise, but overall. And I think the Rams have just a way better offense. So I don't think that Baker Mayfield can do it. Now, if Mike Evans is there and you had the whole shebang, okay. Like, I would say, you're going to space out the ball more, look at the rookie and stout for the Niners and actually do something. But I just think that he's not going to be able to throw to Ibuka, and so he's going to have to look otherwhere. And I don't think this is a week that Chris Godwin breaks out. Not yet. Kolby, you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
tell me I'm wrong?
Well, not
Kolby,
that
I'm
I think
going to
you're
leave this
wrong.
all to you. Don't even worry.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree that Baker may have a tough game, but I am going to slightly disagree and say that Matt Stafford is better than Baker Mayfield. We've had this discussion early on in the preseason, and it's not that I don't think Stafford's bad, but Baker has rushing upside, and I don't see Matt Stafford rushing like Baker, trucking someone, getting up after an injury and getting in CJ Gardner's face and saying, like, "What's up, dude?" Like, I don't see Matt Stafford doing that. I think they're in the same tier. I think that they're great passers and they have a great offense. And I think that if the Bucks had a little bit better of a defense, that they'd be a lot more scarier than everyone looks at them to be. But I see them as in the same tier as a good passer, but Baker has a little bit of rushing upside. So that's why, personally, I would choose Baker over Stafford because of the rushing and the scrambling part. But that's just my little take.
I think for me, it's more of like, I just don't think he's going to be a big boom this week. So I think when I'm looking at guys, it's like, who do I see underperforming? And I think based on what their projections are, I can see Baker underperforming just because of that defense. They're going to have a game plan for him. And I think that's just where my head's at. I don't think he's going to have an awful game. He's not going to go, no offense, X, but he's not going to have like a Cam Ward type of game. That's not what I'm saying. I just don't think, I think if you have other options at quarterback, like especially if you grab Baker kind of late, like there might be better matchups than Baker Mayfield this week. If that makes sense.
To be honest, depending on my lineup, if I needed a big boom, say like I'm on bye or someone's injured and I'm playing like a wide receiver 4 in my wide receiver 2 spot, and I need a big boom, I'd probably play Stafford over Baker because of the defense. But then again, they get up, it's going to be Kyron Williams ball all game. So that's another reason I'm kind of scared of Matt Stafford this week specifically, even if it is a bad defense, is, they could just throw the ball a ton and then start running it in the second half. But I guess we'll see. I'm not really for sure.
Well, that's why, like, on the rankings, I just put Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, he plays, Hurts, Daniels, Mahomes, Dak, Drake, and Herbert and Fields over Mayfield this week. So I'm not saying that there's all kinds of quarterbacks, but I think if you have one of these guys, I would rather start them based on their matchup than Baker Mayfield. That's all.
I agree.
So, all right, X, who you got starting at quarterback this week?
Starting at quarterback, I got Geno Smith going against
Oh,
Tennessee.
what?
Oh yeah. Oh
I didn't
yeah.
even see that. Oh my,
Oh yeah,
bro.
boys.
Man,
This is
against
where
his
this
own
is where
team.
Geno Smith. Oh, 100%. Bro, I'm a
Oh,
realistic. I've been humbled again. I've been humbled back down to space. Back down to the earth. Okay. Geno
oh
Smith, this is the
no.
game that he comes back from. Ashen Genty, I was thinking about putting him as a sitting running back. You're gonna sit him too. It's gonna be Geno Smith all day. He's gonna have a good time. He's gonna have an easy time. Gonna have a lot of yards. Tennessee plays a lot of zone defense. So Geno Smith's gonna have a good game. Watch. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Love
You're
it.
gonna sit Kyler Murray against Indianapolis for sure. Indianapolis is
I'm okay
a
with that.
good team. They're a good team. They proved it. So Indianapolis right now, their defense does give up a little bit, but it's not going to be enough for Murray to actually do anything. They had that abysmal performance against the Titans. And now that if they can't even do that, if they can't even beat one of the worst teams in the NFL, what makes you think they're going to beat one of the best teams in the NFL right now? So sit them.
All right, Kolby, who you got starting at quarterback this
So
week?
starting, he's kind of a downfall, but they won the game. And Stevenson took all the touchdowns, but starting Drake May against the Saints. Pretty simple. It's the Saints, Drake May. It may end up being a shootout, maybe not, but like I said earlier, their defense probably going to be stopping the Saints, and I just like Drake May. He's running a little more. I'm sure everybody saw that pass to Diggs on the sideline in the corner. That thing was curving. That dude knows how to curve the ball. If you guys didn't know that, it's insane. Maybe the win, but I'm a little bit of a Drake May lazy right now. Anyway, sitting Daniel Jones versus the Cardinals, and I personally think he's a streaming option. Personally, I think that this game they're going to get up by 2 scores, and it's going to be the Jonathan Taylor show. It ain't going to be Daniel Jones throwing the ball anymore. That's my reasoning for setting him, is that I think they're going to score 2 touchdowns. Maybe Daniel Jones throws a touchdown, maybe 2, and then it's Jonathan Taylor the rest of the game. That's my opinion. I mean, I'd play Goff over him. I'd play Darnold over him, and I'd play Matthew Stafford over him. Reasonings: Goff, high scoring game. They're not going to run in 4
Sure.
touchdowns. The Chiefs' defense is a decently good running defense. They're going to have to throw the ball around. Maybe James Williams will actually have a breakout game. Darnold, I mentioned it earlier, could be 2024. He's unlocking Jason, AJ Bardner. They have Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet. He can get a couple dump offs to the running backs. Then Matt Stafford, just mentioned it, against Baltimore Ravens. So that's a little bit of pivots from Daniel Jones. I'm sure he isn't your only quarterback on the roster unless you have Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson.
Starting running back this week, you got Javonte Williams at Carolina. He's getting a lot of volume, and Carolina's D is pretty boo-boo, so I really like his matchup. Good offensive line. You're sitting Derrick Henry versus the Rams. If Lamar's still out, they're going to focus on running the ball, and the Rams have a really good run D. And personally, I will not be starting Derrick Henry until Lamar comes back. It is a big risk, and I think if you can trade him now, do it. If you're able to stash him, stash him. X, who you got starting at running back this week?
Starting at running back, I'm starting Kenneth Walker. To me, the Jacksonville Jaguars are a fraud of a team. Their defense is better than their offense. However, their offense does capitalize on defenses making mistakes. Jacksonville is not a team that I'm really taking seriously. So I think Kenneth Walker is going to have a good game. You're going to be sitting Judkins against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is still a good team. Pittsburgh still has a very good defense. Judkins, I think, is going to get his big welcome to the NFL moment going against Pittsburgh. I don't feel comfortable starting him this week, and I don't think you should either.
Kolby, who you got starting at running back this week?
So running back for me, it's going to be Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard if he's still in. But it's a calf injury. We know. Rod may have a little PTSD from a calf injury over there, in San Francisco. So Chuba Hubbard may be out a little bit longer. But Dowdle, just talked about him earlier, put 200 yards up against the Dolphins. Now he gets Dallas, who has a worse defense than the Dolphins, unfortunately. and I think he'll have a good game. And sitting DeAndre Swift at Washington. We just saw them shut down Marion Hampton, my boy, and maybe a little bit of a game script where they're going to be passing the ball against this Washington offense, especially if Terry McLaurin comes back. It's going to be very high-powered offense. They're going to be scoring a lot of points, and Caleb Williams and the Bears are going to have to respond. So that's why I'm going to be pivoting away from Swift this week.
All right, next we're going to get into our receivers. So starting at receiver this week, I got George Pickens at Carolina. He should have a way better game this week. Dak is throwing the ball. They're usually either playing from behind or it's close. It's shootouts. And I think because of that, he hit a little bit of a down week, but I think he'll bounce back. And with CeeDee Lamb not being there, he's going to be the guy. So I think you can confidently start him. Sitting, I know the boys are not going to agree with this either. You're sitting Emeka Egbuka versus San Francisco. So I kind of already said this before. I'm going to just reiterate it. He's most likely going to be lined up against Lenore. Lenore's only given up 12 receptions total this year, no touchdowns. He's been on one, dude. Lenore's been very good this year. Chris Godwin is coming back from injury. He's kind of ramping up. I don't think this week is the week he comes back. So I know I kind of repeated a lot of stuff that I said earlier, but that's why I don't really feel overly confident this week in Egbuka going off. X, who do you got starting at receiver this week?
Starting at receiver, I think we're going to finally see the bounce back game of A.J. Brown going against the Giants. It was said that A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts had a 2-hour meeting of just them talking about Brown's role in the offense. I feel like Philadelphia is going to bounce back. Giants aren't really that good of a team. So I feel like Brown's going to finally get that momentum swing back. Sitting, you're going to sit Waddle against the Chargers. At the end of the day, even though the Chargers are injured, it's still a Harbaugh coach team. And Harbaugh is going to do what he needs to do against a Miami team that doesn't know that they're even playing football. So it will be a rough game for him, even though he is the number one, and I have him in quite a bit of leagues, so that's unfortunate for me. But it is what it is, boys.
Kolby, who you got starting at receiver this week?
Starting this week, maybe a little obvious, but I've been seeing a bunch of videos about, oh my gosh, he only had 5 receptions last week. Oh my gosh, it's not going to be game script. They're just going to hand it off the whole game. But it's going to be Devontae Adams. Just mentioned some people are scared of the script, of running the ball. Some people are scared he only had 5 receptions last week. But he is Matthew Stafford's a little bit of a red zone target. He can win those 50-50 balls. He's a big body wide receiver. So I really like him this week against the Baltimore Ravens. And sitting, we mentioned his name several times, Chris Godwin. I have him in one of my main leagues. I really want to start him. Don't know if I want to.
Me too. Oh, me too, dude.
But again, mentioned he's on a slow start. He's going to be on my bench until his breakout game. Some pivots that I'd play. I don't know if they'll agree with me or not. It's going to be Myers against the Titans.
Yep.
It is start of the week, Geno Smith. We have Devontae Smith at the Giants. I still think Flowers may be a good play. They're going to target him. He's a little wide receiver, and he'll probably get 7, maybe 8 targets, and hopefully 5 catches for 40 yards. Get you a good 10, 12-point game, better than Chris Godwin's 4 to 6 games that he's been putting up. So yeah, that's my sit.
Yeah, that's a hot one. I don't know about the last one there, but that one's
see.
I don't know if I trust Baltimore right now. All right, starting at tight end, I got Tucker Kraft versus Cincinnati. It's Love's favorite target. It's a favorable matchup. Cincinnati's bad, man. I mean, they have Joe Flacco now, I guess. I don't know if he's starting or not, but I think this is a very favorable game offensively and defensively for the Green Bay Packers, so I think he's a must start. And you're sitting Mark Andrews, you're sitting Isaiah Likely, any kind of tight end right now for the Ravens. No Lamar equals no offense, and they need Mark Andrews to block. And that's kind of where his role has been, and he's not really getting a lot of targets. So because of that, I do not like him this week. X, you got starting at tight end this week.
Starting at tight end, we got the boy Goddard going against the Giants. I think that Philadelphia is going to incorporate a big pass-heavy offense going against the Giants. If I was them, that's what I would do. Their secondary looks kind of bad right now. So I don't see why Goddard wouldn't really have that good of a game. Sitting, you are giving up on Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is finally out as the tight end trend goes. So Zach Ertz is going to be out. Going against Chicago, Zach Ertz is just no longer viable. They have too many weapons. They might get Scary Terry back. They're just the Commanders right now are looking at other options, and I don't think that Zach Ertz right now is a safe start.
Kolby, who you got starting at tight end this week?
Starting tight end, it's a little hot. We'll see. It's going to be Theo Johnson against tough Philly defense. Here, I'm really just banking on Jackson Dart dumping it short because they're all going to be up in his face the whole entire game. Back-to-back weeks with touchdowns. As mentioned earlier, he's getting a good amount of targets. So it's going to be a negative game script. So they're going to be passing the ball. No Cam Scatterboo at the middle because Jalen Carter's going to eat him for dinner if she does that, literally. And so I'm going to have a dart throw. If I need a starter, if I need 6, 8, 10 points, I'm going to throw Theo Johnson out there. And sitting, I hate to do this. I know you guys probably looking at the Word document we're looking at the report we have, and Juwan Johnson. It's a sad day here in my office right now, reading that name. And it was very, very nice as he produced. He was in the waivers, pretty picked up everywhere. But the reason he's so good, the reason I liked him is because there's no Taysom Hill, there's no Foster Moreau. It was just him. But now we have Taysom Hill and Foster coming back. So they're going to take away some of those targets. And, we'll see. We'll see. But for right now, I'm sitting them and waiting to see how those targets kind of distribute out between those three.
Alrighty. So, fun fact, I don't have a defensive ranking because I don't really do that. So we're going to stop sharing that for a minute. So the audience will be like, what the hell's happening? We don't have a defensive ranking. We just kind of focus on the positional players. So we'll just kind of say our defensive starters. Starting for defense for me, I'm starting Green Bay versus Cincinnati. You kind of see a trend here with a lot of my picks. Cincinnati's offense is boo-boo. They just traded for Joe Flacco. That's a today thing. I don't know if he's starting quite yet. I don't know if I can trust him. He did well with the Colts. He didn't do so good with the Browns. So I think we have to see or wait and see. Cincinnati's O-line's not great either. So I don't really know what we're going to have with him quite yet. So until then, you're starting everybody's defense against him. You're sitting Baltimore D versus the Rams. And Baltimore coming in looked really good. I think injuries kind of played a huge role. Kyle Hamilton's out. And a lot of their guys are just underperforming. And LA Rams, and it hates me to say this as a divisional rival, but they probably have the most explosive offense in the NFL, in my personal opinion. And Baltimore has a lot of injuries. So I think Baltimore is going to be absolutely in shambles this week. And I think they put up consecutive negative points. Don't quote me on that, but I know for sure they had negative points last week. So I don't trust them, especially if they allowed the Houston Texans to demolish them. That was probably one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in my life. X, who you starting at defense this week?
Starting, you're going to start Seattle against Jacksonville. I still think that Jacksonville is a fraud. I don't think that their offense is really as high powered or as good as they are letting on. I think Seattle is going to give them a hard reality check. And Seattle's defense has been playing pretty good for the most part when they go against teams that are frauds. Baker Mayfield really wasn't, so that's no surprise to me. But I think Seattle will do well against Jacksonville. Sitting, you're going to sit Arizona against Indianapolis. Arizona just lost to one of the worst teams in the NFL. Their defense right now is a joke. They really need to find themselves really, really bad. And Indianapolis is just going to put the foot to the throat and not let off the entire game because that's just who the Colts' identity is right now.
Kolby, who you got starting defense this week?
So this week, mentioned them earlier, I'm starting the Patriots at New Orleans, looked good against the Bills, and I believe they'll continue doing that even against the worst offense. Sitting, a little controversial here, maybe not, but I'm sitting the Lions defense against the Kansas City Chiefs. Not that I don't think the Lions can keep up and do well, but I really think this is going to be high over under. A lot of points scored, which means, the defense isn't going to necessarily produce a lot of fantasy points. And I think there are some better streaming options out there that you can pick up and play just this week and then drop them and start playing the Lions again.
All right, next we got our trade target segment. This is X's segment. I know he's very excited. Maybe he'll cat out today. I'm very excited about that. I always love when Nick cats out. and he's not yelling at me. Really quickly for me, you're going to buy low on BTJ, Chris Godwin, Derrick Henry, Mike Evans. Sell high. There's a lot of sell high candidates right now. You got Jamar Chase, had a big game, 29 points. Sell him while you can. Justin Jefferson, he hasn't played this week yet. Sell him while you can. Rome, same thing. Emeka, trade him now while you can. As soon as Mike Evans comes back, I think his production goes down. Next, Ashton Genty. Sell him high while you can. It might be more of a buy low. He's kind of had one big game. Dobbs, sell him if you can, or if you dropped him, it is what it is. Kyle Pitts, Jalen Waddle, Stephon Diggs, big one. I don't know if he does it every week. Sell him. And Justin Fields, he keeps having good games. I don't know if he's going to get injured or, what's going to happen if he plays a good defense. So sell him high while you can. And do not trade for Woody. I will say it again for Kolby and for those in the back. Do not trade for Woody. Woody is
All
not
right,
good.
can I announce a
Big
trade
Chubb
I
is
made
still-
for Woody Marks? Can I announce a trade I made with Woody Marks? My friend's going to be
you
watching
traded
this.
for him?
I traded for Woody
You
Marks.
traded for him?
I did, and
Oh, no.
I do have to back him up a little bit. They were destroying the Rams. Why would they put in their pass catcher, twitchy running back? Why would they put in the big tank Nick Chubb? They're not going to be in these game scripts all the time. They're going to be in more of the negative game script. They got to go down there, throw some passes, get in third down situations. Woody Marks come out there, catch some receptions, catch some touchdowns. So that is I was bought in Woody Marks so much that I traded him, and I'm gonna. Oh gosh, I'm gonna tell you guys the running back. I traded him 1-for-1 for, and it did not get vetoed because I told him don't veto it because I'm calling my shot, and I didn't really care. I traded Woody Marks straight up for Chase Brown of the Bengals, and we're if it works, I'm a genius. If it doesn't, then this is gonna be one of my losses for this year. But
That's wild.
yeah, it went through, and yeah, I like Woody Marks.
That's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
My last two not trade for is just Arizona running backs. I don't trust D McCarter after that atrocious fumble at the end, and I don't trust Michael Carter every week. So there's a reason why they were like 3-on-4 on the depth chart. So don't for me, it's not every week to week. It's not worth trading for them. Kolby, do you have anything, or you want me to just get into X?
Nope. X is good.
All right, X. Ready. It is time. The moment that your buddies have all been waiting for, calling you during the show for trade target advice. Always. He is the fantasy football tight end guru. I'm over here hyping him up. He is apparently the trade master, self-proclaimed.
Oh yeah.
X.
Oh yeah.
Tell the people what they need to do here.
All right. 100%. I agree with you. You need to trade away Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs had a good game. It was a little bit personal. It was a little bit of a rival game. They do play the Buffalo Bills again, but that does not mean that he's going to recreate. I think he had the best game of the season. Drake May is starting to find his way. I think the Patriots are starting to buy into what Vrabel has. However, Stephon Diggs is just a liability. He's too inconsistent. Trade him away while he's high. People are going to start to think that he's something. Trade him away while you can. Second trade away, you're going to trade away Josh Jacobs. I know. That's going to destroy a lot of people. Josh Jacobs was actually somebody at the beginning of the year that I thought was going to be a dark horse. I thought he was going to be like running back number 2, number 3 in fantasy. He has not produced that. Green Bay's offense right now looks atrocious for how good that their defense is playing. I don't know what's going on with that Matt LaFleur offense, but they need to figure it out. Josh Jacobs, I have a gut feeling. I was debating on even saying it, but I got a gut feeling he is going to get injured. Trade him away while you can, and go from there. Trading for, I actually have nobody. I'm really debating on even saying it, but I would trade for, and I know I already said it last week. You're going to trade for Derrick Henry. Trade while he's low.
Oh.
Trade while he's low. Trade while he is low. That boy is on the ground, dead, beating. Just everybody's kicking him in the face right now. Trade for him low while you can. Derrick Henry always has a knack of coming back. There's a whole little segment that I have in my hot takes about Derrick Henry. I will explain. Trade for him low. Do not get ripped off for Derrick Henry. Do not get ripped off for Derrick Henry. I've said it last week. Do not trade based off name alone. Do not get ripped off for him. Trade for what his point value is right now, which is garbage. Get him low while you can. Now, going into our tips, right? We got 4 more for the boys. I try to spread them out. I got a whole giant list of things, but I like to spread them out so that we got something to talk about each week. So, your next tip is going to be the schedule strength. Look at the strength of the schedule of the player you're looking to take. Mainly what you want to look for, I know a lot of people would maybe disagree, but you need to have confidence in yourself and believe that you are going to make playoffs. So that is the strength of the schedule that you need to look for. Look at playoffs. Make sure that the guys that you are picking up, that you are trading for, are going to have a strong showing, a strong matchup when it comes playoff time. Understand, have confidence in the team that you drafted, that they are going to get you to playoffs at least. If you're starting off low right now, we'll get into that a little bit later. But look at the schedule strength. Know what the rest of the schedule is going to look like, mainly for playoffs. 2, don't get attached. Don't get attached to your favorite player. Don't get attached to your favorite team and the players that are on it. Don't get attached to that. That's going to cloud your judgment. That's going to cloud your value of players. It's going to mess you up. Be understanding of your flaws. Your flaw being that you get attached to your team, like Rodney's take about, the 49ers defense being amazing. I expect him to play the 49ers defense with how big he's talking, but he probably won't because he's smarter than that. He's not a big dummy. Don't get attached to your players. Understand their value, understand what they are. 3rd, know your opponents. Capitalize on your opponent's weakness. Majority of the time, the leagues that you're playing in, you are going to know these people. You're going to understand how they think majority of the time. And you know that these people are going to make the mistakes in trading offers that you aren't because you listen to me. They are going to get attached to players. They're going to want players of their own team. I bet you right now, if I tried to trade George Pickens to Kolby right now, he'd be salivating out the mouth. He'd be all for it. He'd give me
Take
anything I
Jacoby
wanted.
Myers straight up. Jacoby Myers straight up.
That's wild.
That boy would be trade. That boy would trade me Justin Jefferson for Pickens right now. That boy's salivated. But
Probably.
but you need to know your opponents. You need to know how they think. You know the guy in your league that makes stupid trades, that always tries to rip you off. You know those people. Understand your opponents. Understand your opponents. Know the guys that know football. You know these people majority of the time. Understand your opponents. It helps you in trade offers. And if they are big valuing somebody that you have zero care for value for, then understand that that trade might not work in your favor, or it might, depending on the players that you have. So just understand your opponents and know them. The last one, look at a player's potential. Understand that, you know what? Oh, man, I feel like they're starting to Charbonnet, for example. Charbonnet would be a good example. Charbonnet, look at his potential. Charbonnet has been getting a lot of goal line carries. He's been getting a lot of touchdowns, but be reasonable about it. You're not going to trade more for Charbonnet when at the end of the day, Kenneth Walker is the starter. Be reasonable about what you're doing. That's just a little example to understand what I'm trying to get at you. Look at the potential of the player, but be reasonable that this dude is not a superstar. He's not something crazy. Don't overvalue him. And that's all I got.
All right. Those are our trade targets for week 6 with X. Thank you for doing that. I'm sure the people appreciate the advice, especially the newer players. So next, we're going to get into our week 6 football bets. The next portion of today's episode is going to be brought by Fantasy Royale, and I went ahead and recorded a little thing here, so you'll see it inserted right here. Hey everyone, I just wanted to share an awesome new fantasy platform called Fantasy Royale. Fantasy Royale was created by Austin Eckler, who is currently the running back for the Washington Commanders and the former running back for the Los Angeles Chargers. Fantasy Royale is 100% free. You heard me right, 100% free every week until the end of the NFL season. This week's winner will be getting a $100 gift card. Entering into the competition is super simple. All you have to do is click the link in the description, pick the teams that you think are going to win this week, pick how many points total for Monday night's game, and pick how many yards total for both teams. Enter some information such as your name, username that you can make your own, email, and phone number. The winner will be announced at the end of Monday night's game. Also, if you want more ways to win, check out their weekly free tournaments such as hockey and UFC. Thank you to Fantasy Royale and to Austin Eckler for an awesome free fantasy football experience and for this portion of today's show. Thanks. I think it's only fitting because of what it is. It's a pick'em. What we're doing is pick'ems. But I do recommend everybody to share it out with your friends. Literally, it's free. It's pretty cool. I signed up and I did it, so I really recommend to do it. Now let's get into our Week 6 football bets. All right, here we go. We got Week 6 football games. We got Philadelphia Eagles favored by -6.5 versus the New York Giants. The total is 41.5. I'm going to take the over on that divisional game. I'm not really keen on the Giants defense a whole lot, but I think the Eagles figured out this week and score quite a bit against them. They've been pretty consistent in doing so against them as well. The spread at -6.5. I think I am gonna take the over on that. My heart, when it comes to divisional games, always says not to, but I think in this case, I have faith that the Eagles will get it done. X, what do you think?
I'll agree with you, but I will go under.
Kolby?
Agree with you, Rod.
All right, next game. Denver Broncos favored by 7.5 versus the Jets. The total's 43.5. I'm going to go under only because it's not anything against Justin Fields, but I think it's going to be a tight game. The Denver's defenses look really good with Patrick Surtain, and Bo Nix hasn't really shown us a whole lot right now. And so I think because of that, I'm going to take the under. But I do think that, I don't know. Do I want to go I think I'm going to go the plus money on the 7.5 just because I think it's going to be a little bit closer. It might be like 4 or 3 points. Kolby, we'll start with you this time.
I'll agree, but I think Broncos win by more than 7.5. I think maybe like 10.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking Broncos too. X?
I agree with you, Rod.
Okay. Next game, Chargers favored by 3.5 versus Miami. Side note, Chargers offensive line and defense is hurt quite a bit with Joe Alt and Khalil Mack. The total's 43.5. I'm going to take Chargers on the over. Chargers over and Chargers at -3.5 for sure on the spread. X, what do you got?
I agree with you.
I agree
Kolby?
as well.
Okay. Next game, Arizona Cardinals versus the Colts. Colts are favored by -6.5 points. You know what? I'm going to take the Colts at -6.5. Arizona has been the same without James Conner. And I think Indiana Jones is going to get figured out. Colts defense has been very surprising this year as well. The total's 47.5. I'm going to take the under on that. I don't know if it's going to be that high scoring personally. Kolby?
I agree.
X?
I agree.
All right, next game, Dallas Cowboys favored by 3.5. That's it, 3.5 versus Carolina Panthers. The total's 49.5 points. That's high, bro. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to say it, but the Cowboys defense didn't look bad last week, dude. I think I'm going under on that. The Cowboys defense didn't look too bad, dude. I don't think Carolina scores a lot.
I still think they
I like Cowboys by 3.5
3.5
though. Yeah, I'm taking the under on that. X?
I agree with you, Rob. Definitely under.
Kolby?
Cowboys, spread, and the over, please.
All right. Next game, we got Seahawks versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville's favored by 1.5. Wild. I'm taking Seahawks at plus 1.5. The total is 46.5. I'm going to go over on that. I think it's going to be a big scoring game. It's going to be another shootout. And Jaguars are going to try to come back towards the end. Kolby?
Agree.
X?
Agree.
Next game, Patriots -3.5 favorites versus the Saints. The total is 45.5. I'm taking the under. I don't think the Saints can do what they did last week against the Giants versus the Patriots, but I do think I like the Patriots at -3.5. Kolby? Or X? Let's go X this time.
I agree with you.
Kolby?
I agree with you as well.
All right. Rams versus Baltimore. Rams are favored by -7.5. Very warranted without Lamar. The total is 44.5 points. I don't know. The Ravens only put up 7 points or 10 points last week, I think. You know what? Give me the over. Or yeah, give me the -7.5 favorite for Rams. Give me the over on the total. I think the Rams can score like 35 this week. Kolby?
I agree.
X?
I agree, but under.
Okay. I was about to say we're agreeing here too much. I don't know if I like that. We never agree. We start fighting each other. All right, next game, Cleveland versus Steelers. Steelers are favored by minus 5.5. The total's 38.5. Ooh, and I'm going to take the under on that because Dylan Gabriel's a quarterback, and the Steelers, it's going to be a defensive game, I think. Divisional opponent, It's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight. I'm going to take the under, even though it's really low. Steelers by minus 5.5. Yeah, I think we can win by 7 or 10. Kolby?
I thought about it for a second, but I'm gonna agree with you. I'll take the Steelers and I'll take the under.
X?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a tie. One might be like 17-10 or something like that. Something stupidly low. So,
yeah.
All right, next game we got Tennessee versus the Raiders. The Raiders are favored. What? In Vegas? I mean, the Raiders don't really play well in Vegas. The total's 41.5. I don't think so.
Ooh, no.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Both offenses have been pretty boo-boo. Skibbity toilet, as the kids say these days. Raiders at minus 4.5. Man, I don't know. This might be my hot one. I think Tennessee beats the Raiders this week. Dude.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna say that too.
That's what I'm thinking, bro. I think I'm taking Tennessee at plus 4.5, bro.
Game more legacy game.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think
literally
Kellen really has a game,
thing.
dude.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking the same thing.
I think Tony Pollard has a game too, and Tajay.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna make a hot take out of this, but yeah, I agree too.
The total at 41.5. I think honestly I'll go over just because I think Raiders have it in them to score. I think these are two really bad teams, so give me the over on that. But you guys agree with the overs since we're all on the same page?
Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to be like, you win one game, and all of a sudden you think you're something.
I don't trust the Raiders without Bowers, dude. If they don't have Bowers, I don't trust it. So
that's fair.
All right, next game we got San Francisco. Let me see. There we go. All right, next game we got San Francisco versus the Bucks. The Bucks are favored by minus 2.5. The total's 47.5. Ooh, I don't know, man. That's kind of high. You know what? Give me the over. I'm taking Niners at 2.5 plus money. I don't think the Bucks can stop Mac Daddy Jones, dude. 831-330-8004, dude. Mac Jones, the GOAT. Kolby?
Yeah, you know I gotta take the Bucks at the over for sure.
X?
I agree with Kolby.
Wow. All right.
So you better not see no check mark on the 49ers social media post this week, all right? It better be the Buccaneers.
Yeah, you better not, dude.
I don't know who makes them.
You're outvoted. You're outvoted.
I make it be known.
You're outvoted, bro.
It is me. It's wild. Next we got Bengals versus Packers. Packers, this is the biggest spread. 14.5 points.
Oh my God.
That's big. That's a big spread.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I'm taking minus 14.5. Let's not get crazy now. You know, I'm taking the spread at 14.5. I'm taking Green Bay. The total is 44.5. Give me the over. Brownie's starting. I think they can score some touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Give me the over. Let's go. X.
No. I agree with you, but no, it's not going to be over. Definitely under. Definitely under. This, by the way, side note, this is not the game that Josh Jacobs get injured. I'm just saying that now.
I agree with you, Rod. I'm looking at the next one, and I'm just shocked, speechless right now.
I agree. I agree. We'll get into it.
What is that?
So the next game, what Kolby's alluding to, is the Detroit Lions versus the Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by minus 2.5. And I think the reason for it is I was listening to something today, and they said that Vegas always gives the odds to the home team by 3. Like they always give them 3 points. So I think that's why they're favored against the Lions. Personally, I'm taking the Lions at plus 2.5. It's the game of the week. It's what we made our thumbnail on. I think this is the most competitive game this week in football.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely like Detroit at plus 2.5. The total's 51.5. I'm going to take the over on that, even though it's really big. It is going to be a shootout, I think.
I agree.
Two very good offenses. I think Mahomes always tries to figure it out. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. X?
I agree.
Kolby?
I agree as well.
All right. We got, 2 Monday games this week. That's a weird one. We got Buffalo Bills versus the Atlanta Falcons. You know how everyone knows how I feel about the Falcons. The total's 48.5. So I'm taking the under on that because I think the Bills play down to their competition, and I don't trust the Atlanta Falcons. Most likely, I don't trust Penix. Bills at minus 3.5, though, for sure. Kolby?
I agree with you.
X?
I agree.
All right, last game. We got Monday night or Super Monday night, whatever you want to call it. It's like an hour later. You got the Bears versus the Commanders. The Commanders are favored by -4.5. Yeah, I think I'm taking Commanders -4.5. Jaden Daniels looks good. Scary Terry might be back. I think Zach Ertz has a bounce back week. The Bears are looking good with Caleb. He didn't look so hot against the Raiders, which I think is really hard to do, to play bad against the Raiders this year, because that's how bad they are. Total's 50.5, but just because I know Rome is there and Ben Johnson is an offensive-minded wizard, if you want to call him that, I think it'll go over on the 50.5. X,
I agree with you, but definitely under.
Kolby.
It's Caleb time, baby. Taking the Bears and the upset. Taking the over.
Yeah,
This
that's
was the
wild.
Chicago Bears game last year until Jay Daniels decided to throw a Hail Mary. That cornerback is not going to be taunting in the end zone this year. He's going to be locked in. He's swatting that Hail Mary pass this year if it happens again. Bears should have won that game last year. Caleb's developing. He got Rome unlocked. Got Ben Johnson. Like, I'm taking the Bears in the upset for sure. Call it.
All right. That's our betting for the week. All right, hot takes for this week. I'll just start off with mine. I want to officially apologize to the 49ers organization. I take back my rant. I will be the first person to say that. I still don't care for Brock Purdy, but I heard something out today from Acho and LaShawn McCoy where they were discussing whether the 49ers Super Bowl window is closed or not. And the consensus was, as long as Kyle Shanahan is there, I believe the Super Bowl window will always be there. And I honestly agree with that take, because Kyle Shanahan makes very mediocre or bad quarterbacks look very good. Example, Nick Mullins in 16 games threw over 5,000 yards. CJ Beathard was very successful under him. Jimmy Garoppolo, for as bad as he plays, career backup, played very well. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, looked really good. Mac Jones had a huge fallout after his first year with the Patriots. He just looks really good. He looks like he'd be a Pro Bowler based on the way that he's slinging the ball. So I think a lot of the Niners team is mostly associated with Kyle Shanahan and not necessarily the quarterback play. So I will take back my Super Bowl rant, and where the window's closed, I think it will be open as long as Kyle is there. And if he were ever to leave, I think that is when it will officially close. My other hot take is are the Ravens making the playoffs this year? And I kind of want to get your thoughts here. I know X is a big Derrick Henry fan. Personally, I don't think they are. Lamar's hurt. It's not looking good. The Steelers look like the most healthiest team in that division, and they're probably going to win the division, which is
Yeah.
wild because I don't think they're very good.
No.
But X, I'll just start with you. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the Ravens are able to squeak by the playoffs this year, or do you think it's
Honestly,
they're-
I don't think so. I don't think so. Their defense is too horrible. Their defense couldn't stop anything, dude. Their defense couldn't stop a stop sign. They're horrible
they're
right now.
they're 1-4 this year, which is wild. And if Lamar
Yeah.
doesn't play for another game or two, I mean, that's another couple losses racking up, I think, against them.
Well, I'll
Kolby,
get
what do you
in.
think?
I'll get in a little bit about a reason of why they're 1-4.
Okay. Kolby?
There's a chance. I mean, look at the division, all right? They got the Browns, the Bengals. Don't got to worry about them. They haven't even played the Steelers yet, and you know that the Ravens are going to beat the Steelers and they're going to break them. So I think it's just a matter of time. Each week they get an injured player back, just picking one off the other, off the IR, off the injured bench, one at a time, and they're all going to be back. And I cannot believe I'm sitting here. Well, I can't believe everybody's doing it, but we're doubting Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. One of the best combos we've ever seen
Yeah.
in the NFL.
I
I
don't think
just
I'm
can't
doubting.
find myself doubt them that they can't go on a 7-8
Yeah.
game win streak and beat the Steelers twice and make the playoffs.
I'm not doubting them. I think I'm doubting, or the coach, I'm doubting their defense and how banged up and hurt
Yeah.
they are and how many points that they're giving up. And Lamar's not fully healthy. And I think
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, I guess. I won't be surprised if they did just barely miss
Well,
the
the
cut,
only
because
sample
all these early
size-
games will start racking up. And I think that's the issue, is you're going to start playing good teams, and it's going to be very hard to win against some of those divisional teams if you're not healthy.
The sample size I'm using is the Lions. I mean, their defense was terrible last year. All they do is put points up. I think the offense can put those points up. It's just a matter of doing it and getting healthy. So I think if they get healthy in the next week or two, I think they can go on a shred and win multiple games in a row. But they just got to be putting up 45 plus a week, or they're not going to make it.
Okay, I got two more for you guys, and then we'll continue with the other ones. So, are the Cowboys gaining some momentum, or are the Jets that bad? My first initial thoughts is the Jets are pretty bad, and it's surprising because I thought their defense was halfway decent. And I kind of just wanted to share who they've played in the regular season. They've played the Eagles, they played the Giants, they played the Bears, they played the Packers, which I think that was the most unexpected game, right? And they played the Jets. So I think offensively, they've looked really promising, but their defense, I think it's more of they're pretenders, right? We used to do our contenders and pretenders. So I'm just not quite sure yet how I feel about them. I'll start with X first before I get into Kolby, since he's our resident Cowboys fan. X, what do you think about the Cowboys? Do you think they're just gaining momentum, or are the Jets were just really bad?
I think they are gaining momentum. Honestly, when I look at the Cowboys on paper, they look really good. And I think that George Pickens is starting to figure it out. They're only going to get better when CeeDee Lamb comes back. Their only question mark for me is just their defense. It's kind of like the Ravens situation where I trust their offense a lot. I just don't trust their defense. The Cowboys now have a running game, which is great, so they can be more versatile. Uh, I think they are gaining momentum. I think they are legit. I just think that that their injuries on defense are going to be the reason why they're not able to make that final stretch.
Kolby, what are your thoughts?
Mine's going to be pretty short. Mine's is going to be to be determined this weekend. This weekend's going to determine, is the defense good against bad offenses? And if so, that's about half their game. So they should win the rest half their games. And if they're bad against good offenses, all they have to do is make it to the end of the season, get Diggs back, get Bland back, get some of those injured guys back, and then make a push forward at the end when all their guys are healthy, Dak's ready to go, CD's back. That's just a positive outlook on it. Just win the games you're supposed to win, and upset one or two games, and lose a couple ones you're supposed to lose, and you'll be fine. That's kind of my outlook on it.
All right. My last one is more of a statement. It's not really a controversial point. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. I put the Titans are going to be the first overall pick again in this year's draft. And I truly, in my heart of hearts, do feel that one way or another. I do think they'll have the first number one overall pick again. And I hope you guys draft some linemen. I will say that.
Yeah.
And that's specifically 2X.
Yeah.
All right, Kolby, what do you got for me?
Hot take. Baker torches the 49ers this week, and he
I
absolutely
agree.
shows everyone who he is.
Everybody agrees
All he
but
does.
the resident
He
delusional
bakes all
49er
day.
fan.
Yep. Baker Mayfield. He's gonna torch him. So not really hot take.
Oh, yeah.
Just gotta solidify my my
Your
perspective on the
stance.
situation. Yeah, just gotta make that known. So when they win a Super Bowl or something, I'm that closet Buccaneers fan that's been hiding and been under
No way.
contract from Jerry Jones. He just won't let me go type deal. So I just want to let everybody know that. And the next one, talked about earlier, Woody Marks. He's going to be okay, guys. I don't know why everybody's freaking out. He had a breakout game. Then they had a run script game where they hand off to the big bruiser. It's okay. But when they start getting down, like we've seen, he's going to start getting those receptions. He's start getting some work in. So I'm not fully on Woody Marks yet. And honestly, this is a very good time to go buy him. A lot cheaper than Chase Brown, I'll tell you that much. So you can get him very, very cheap right now. So
On a side note, is Joe Mixon droppable at this point? Do you guys think? Do you think he's coming back this
Yeah.
year?
I
I
don't
think he's
know.
droppable.
I mean, they even said he's still a few weeks. They announced like, hey, we'll let you guys know in a few weeks. Like, what do you mean? Well, just give us an update. Like, hey, he's gonna be back 5-6 weeks.
That's
He's
not
healing
a
up.
that's not
It's not,
promising.
and it's not very
They said
promising.
that he might not even play this year at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
So I
doesn't even
think
make sense.
for me, it's like they should have just said he's not going to be there.
You try to
moved
dump
on,
him off maybe, but in a package deal and see if you can find someone that still thinks he's coming back, definitely dump him
Brother,
off.
I think everyone has like 6 or 7 injuries right now on their team. There's no way
Yeah,
people are trading for him to
nobody's got
stash him on the
space on
IR.
that IR.
Everyone's hurt, dude. 2 IR spots isn't enough. You need like 5 or 6 this year. It's wild.
For real.
Hey,
X, give us your hot take, dude. As a closet Ravens fan, I need to hear it.
Is Derrick Henry done? The short answer
Yes.
is no. No, he's
Oh
not.
man.
Derrick Henry is not done. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. So, Derrick Henry, as the season goes on, only gets stronger. It happens every year. Every year. It's kind of like our Quinton Johnston, right? We know he does good and then he does bad. And Derrick Henry is going to do the same thing. The thing about it is when the Ravens, at the beginning of the year, when they were being competitive, what was the whole thing? Derrick Henry was being fed. The last game, Derrick Henry only had like 7 carries. If you notice, the last 2 games that they've lost, right, because of Henry's little fumbled debacles, right, in the first 3 games, the last 2 games that they've lost, Derrick Henry has had less than 10 carries. Go back to the fundamentals. Go back to the beginning, where you were giving Derrick Henry 19, 18 plus carries a game. Go back to that. Nobody is afraid that Derrick Henry's getting the ball right now. Everybody knows that you're passing with these crappy wide receivers. And nonetheless, too, it puts too much pressure on Lamar, which made Lamar fake his injury. And you need to give Henry the ball again. Give him the ball back. You give him the ball back, you will watch this Ravens, as we expect, as Kolby said, you're going to watch them start to go on this tear. The problem is, in Tennessee did the same thing. When they stopped giving Derrick Henry the ball, they would get obliterated. And that's what happens with the Ravens right now. The reason why their defense looks so bad is because they're not handing the ball off to Derrick Henry. So the clock isn't churning. The clock isn't getting destroyed. So now their defense is getting exposed of how crappy their defense is. So you give Derrick Henry the ball, you give your defense time to rest, give them less chances of being on the field because you're churning out the clock. The other team's starting to worry about time management, and the Ravens will come back to what they should be. I don't know why people are trying to reinvent the wheel with Derrick Henry when you don't need to. Just feed him the ball, let him do Derrick Henry things, and everything else will fall into place. Derrick Henry is not a liability. He's not a problem. The problem is the Ravens are convincing themselves that he is, but he's not. Just feed him the ball.
I just want to make a couple of counterpoints. And Kolby and X, can you guys answer this question for me? And I used AI and I used an article and research to kind of formulate this question. What is the average age that NFL running backs start to go down? Can you guys tell me without looking that up?
27.
28 and a half.
28, 29.
Ooh.
Derrick Henry in 2023, when the study was done, was 29 years old. He was the only notable person. He's going to be 32 in January, the beginning of January.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing it with Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is 30 years old. I think now we're starting to see the point where Derrick Henry took care of his body, and he's very good. I'm not disagreeing. I think he needs to get the ball more, and I do think that if he got that, we have a lot more offense out of him and more fantasy production. But I think, unfortunately, when it comes to sports and injuries and prime, some of our favorite players are starting to hit past that prime. And there's very few players, like I said before, like Frank Gore was able to have 1,000-yard seasons every year. One of the very few that could do it for such a long time. But Father Time is undefeated. And I think, unfortunately, my personal take on it is I think Father Time and all these injuries, the big injury that he's had, a couple of them, is going to finally start catching up to him. And I think that's what we're seeing. Obviously, though, Lamar Jackson's out, and I think that plays a big role in it, too, because you know what they're going to do. So they're going to stuff him, right? They're just going to send everybody in up the middle because, I mean, that's what they're going to do. They have no other offensive production. But that's kind of where I see it is from a statistic-wise and as far as everything else. I think his decline, just like Alvin Kamara, is finally starting to catch up with him. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of our favorite running backs in that age category and receivers, they're both about the same, are starting to decline. Because Devontae Adams has definitely declined than when he was on the Packers. I hate to say it. I love the guy, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
So, Kolby, you have anything to add, or are you good?
No, not. I was gonna add a few things, but he said it perfectly.
All right, everybody, thanks for sticking around. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We are all over social media. It's been booming lately. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And if you saw our little promo, check out Fantasy Royale. It's a pretty cool thing. I know one of the things that they want to do is help people who are addicted to gambling. So they make it free. All the gift cards are donated. And like I said, it's 100% free. Anyone can do it. So I really recommend checking that out. And I said at the beginning, if you haven't already, please consider joining our membership. We're going to have a Discord going. Our membership started at 99 cents. And if you buy into that 99-cent membership level, I'm going to have all the perks from all the membership tiers for this year only be included, which means early access to shorts, early access to videos, and behind the scenes content, if that's what people want. I'm kind of going to leave it up to the members, whatever they want to see uncut. Hey, if you want it, hey, maybe we'll leave some other stuff that's uncut.
Rod's going to be nice about it, and he's going to say, consider it. You will buy the 99 cents. It's 99 cents. If you can't afford 99 cents, brother, I don't know what, you better be using McDonald's Wi-Fi to watch this video right now. You can spend 99 cents for one time. And if you cannot, then brother, you got some issues. You should probably start working out financially.
Bro, it's 99 cents a month.
Get it done.
99 cents a month, less than a McChicken. You get a nice badge. You get fantasy advice. I mean, you can't beat it. Join the community. And we're going to be doing some giveaways and prizes. So I really, really recommend joining it and doing it early while you can. Because I may even consider allowing people to have all those benefits the entire time of all tiers. That's also on the table.
Let's go. Founders edition, boys. Founders edition.
Thank you. Yep. There you go. All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Later.